So, in spite of being from a city like Philadelphia with a high murder rate every year, I haven't been to a lot of funerals in my life. The last recent one I've been to, I believe, was 5 years ago. My uncle passed away on my mom's side. Uncle did a whole bid at Greatest Fort Penitentiary. I believe they shut that down. I think they shut it down. But he did a 20-year bid there from the 70s all the way to 92. And you know, I didn't see him prior to his untimely death. I didn't see him until ironically another funeral because my cousin passed away. My cousin, when I was like in 11th grade, I never really interacted with him, but my cousin, who I thought gave me my middle name, he died, and I just went, and it's like the funeral was like going to church. I tell you how the church is just a gathering. Both funerals to me were, and there's no disrespect to either one of them, but a lot of the times, people that go to funerals when they don't know someone, but they just probably encountered them somewhere, they just go because they probably most of the time they don't have nothing to do with themselves that day. It's just something to do. It's like and I'm not disrespecting the church, but I'm not even going to call it a gathering no more. I'm just going to call it just something to do. It's just something to do that day. You don't have nothing much on your plate. Just go to church. It's just something to do, But neither one of these people I shed a tear for at their funeral because I didn't know them very well. I didn't interact with them. I didn't have a bond with these people. But there was one person, other than my grandfather, because I did cry at his funeral very briefly, but not like we didn't have like a strong bond. But the bond that I did have was when he watched us as we were young. We when we didn't had no one to watch us. We would go to his house after school. So my dad would pick us up sometimes, and all the times that he did watch us, that just popped up in my mind during his eulogy, and I just started crying. But I had a cousin. I always called him my uncle Charlie Jr., but it's cousin Jr. But I called him Uncle Charlie Jr. I could never call him cousin Jr. He was he was the he was the cousin of my dad, but he was also he was raised by my grandfather that passed away in '09 because I believe I think his mother died. I forgot how it went, but his mother died, and then my grandfather took care of him and his siblings because he was born in like the '40s, and he had kids that were of his own that were grown. We say that a lot in the black community. My kids is grown now. My kids are grown. I always thought you never stop being a parent, but um, the times I've had with him, just some of the things like I was 11 when he died. I was 11 when he died, and I'm gonna say '06, '05, and '04. Like 2002, I believe that's when I met him. In 2003, 4, 5, and 6, because I wouldn't have had like a lot of conversations with him being that young, like I would have with him now if he was still alive. But he was just like another adult to me, someone I respected. You know, I believe he also watched us sometimes too, and I don't think he had a car. He didn't have a car, and this is crazy. I believe he was also a victim of a robbery where he was shot, and I've never asked him about that. I didn't really find out till I got a lot older. But when I found out he died, I started crying because I was just saying he wasn't that old, and he died from bone cancer, like October of '06. But I didn't go to his funeral. I didn't hear anything about it. And that's the one time, that's probably the only funeral that I would want to go to where I feel like someone that I cared about passed away. But that's the only time I could really think about when I genuinely felt for someone dying. Yeah, only time.